Hi folks, we're going to take a look at page 309, number 7. So here they give us two vectors P and Q, and they tell us that they're unit vectors. So we recognize that as meaning that their magnitudes are both 1. They tell us that the angle between the vectors is 60 degrees, so we know that means they must be placed tail to tail in order to show that. And then they're asking us to find the magnitude of this combination of the vectors 2P minus Q. All right, so because they're giving me the angle between the vectors, I'm going to place them tip to tail. Here, 2p is just a vector in the same direction as p with twice the length. So it just means that the magnitude is going to be 2. All right, so let's draw that out. So I'll draw the vector 2p horizontally here. So this will be the vector 2p. All right, and then I've got the vector q, which is going to be about half as long. Okay, and the angle between them is 60 degrees. All right, so I know that the magnitude of this vector is 2, and the magnitude of that vector is 1. And since I'm looking for the subtraction of these two vectors, I know that once I have them tail to tail, it's just a vector that joins the two tips. But of course, the direction does matter. Now in this case here, it technically doesn't, because I'm only interested in the magnitude. So whether I draw it in that direction or this direction, I still get the same magnitude. But for good form, we should be drawing it correctly. So here, when I have vector A minus vector B, I go from the tip of the second to the tip of the first. So it'd be from the tip of the second vector to the tip of the first. So this here would represent the vector 2p minus q. And we want to find the magnitude of that vector. And so here we can see that we're just going to use cosine law because I have the two other side lengths and I have the angle opposite the one that I'm looking for. So we're just going to go ahead and apply cosine law. Okay, so sum of the squares of the other two sides minus 2 times those two side lengths times cosine of the angle opposite the thing I'm looking for, which in this case here is 60 degrees. And so let's calculate that. So since there's no context here, I'm going to leave it as an exact answer. So we have 1 plus 4 minus 4 times cos of 60. Make sure your calculator's in degrees there. Okay, and looks like we have 3. So the answer is just root 3. Okay, and that's it here. So let's just quickly recap. Step number 1 was to identify these as having magnitude 1 because we're told that they're unit vectors. Step 2 is to identify that the angle between them is when they're placed tail to tail. Okay, then we had to realize that multiplying vector p by 2 does not change its direction. It just increases its length by a factor of 2. And then, of course, once we have them placed tail to tail, the subtraction goes from the tip of the second to the tip of the first, and from there we're able to do the calculation. Okay, that's it for this one.